Hey y'all, you know, it just hit me. God can use anything however He wants to use them. I mean, like a few months ago or something like that, I did a sermon on how the some scriptures in the Bible weren't contained in themselves, that they could be universal, that basically God could do whatever He wanted with them, make you dredge up whatever emotion inside you that He wanted to, and that's true. I mean, what means the ought to you might not mean the ought to someone else, but what means the ought to someone else might not mean anything to you. But that doesn't mean you can that doesn't give you the right to disparage them, or that doesn't give you the right to say, oh, that's not how God was. God will never say that. I mean, that's not how He works. I had a Professor Johnson my freshman year. He's gone away from Johnson now. I don't know what he's up to. But I had a Professor Johnson my freshman year say something real poignant that stuck with me. I don't think it's right to limit God in what He can do. And he was talking about speaking in tongues and everything there, but that applies to everything. I mean, you shouldn't limit God and what He can do, how He can speak. He can speak to you in whatever way He wants to. Yeah, some some people God speaks the most to them through the Bible. Some people God speaks the most to them through nature. It as long as the message gets across, it doesn't really matter how it's done. And there's some exceptions to that, I would guess. But I stand firm that God can speak to anybody in whatever way He wants to. The ends order justifies the mean that in that regard. So, ladies and gentlemen, the next time you encounter with someone who says, oh, I had a vision, I had a dream last night of God or whatever they say, it doesn't, that's just an example. Whatever they say that just sounds foreign to you, take some time to learn about them. Maybe you can learn more about God that way, who knows? Maybe you can teach them something yourself, who knows? But always walk through life with the yearning mentality and not always, I'm always right, this is how it's always been, this is how it always will be kind of mindset. Because if you do, you run the very real risk of missing something very important that God may be trying to teach you. Like myself, for example, I tend to learn the most about God at night when I'm by myself in bed and I can't get to sleep. I just would talk to God and I would pray, I would thank Him for what He's done. And that's how I fix God. It's not the only way, but that's how I found that God has spoken the most to me and the most prevalent truth, not really anything new, but the most prevalent and real truth I just reinforce. I just reinforce in any moment that God chooses. take an opportunity to learn more about God in those foreign moments, in those moments that may not always be conducive to your lifestyle, may not always be conducive to how you've been brought up. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my last semester Johnson. If all goes well, I'm super excited for it. I've learned a lot. I doubt I doubt any of my professors will ever see this, but they've been great, and the, some of the professors at Johnson are the nicest people in the world. I formed a lot of friendships with them over the years. I like to think indeed. They may consider me a nuisance, but no, they don't. I think they like me pretty well. I hope they do indeed. But guys, be praying for me today. I love you. God bless you. And I'll see you next week.